What's going on, everybody? It's Gio. Welcome back to another video. In today's world, I meet so many open-minded people, but what does it mean to be open-minded? Well, pretty much in any case, being open-minded is your willingness, the willingness to allow and understand different perspectives. This seems so easy, but what if you're not willing to understand? What if your deep down beliefs prohibit you from being able to understand different perspectives? This is like a crippling weakness. Can you imagine not being able to understand someone? Like, you can hear what they're saying, but you can't comprehend it. I find that funny because I've been in so many relationships with women where I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over again and they just can't grasp it. I'm just kidding, kind of. Today we're focusing on you as an understander of different perspectives. Now, this is one of the hardest things to do in life because our individual perspectives are only available to us, meaning we can't switch minds with somebody and say, hey, let me see how you do this. It's not like copying homework. And think about it. If you're copying like homework, you're not actually understanding it. Well, how do you do it? How do you become more open-minded? Well, it depends on you and what you're trying to understand. In my last video, I described that a balanced mindset is the answer to many of life's mysteries. If you're trying to understand something new in place of what you know, then you have to remain neutral in the subject, balanced. Let's create a balance. I didn't actually draw the balance yet, and I'm just going to edit it in because I'm lazy. This scale or balance represents your paradigm. On each side of the scale, there's a perspective. So there's two perspectives. On one side, there's oranges. You've ate them your whole life. And on the other side is fucking apples. You've never tried one, but you know people eat them all the time, and you've heard that they're delicious. But you'd rather eat oranges because it's what you're used to. Even if you try apple, there's a chance that it'll taste like shit because you were expecting something that tastes citrusy like an orange. So if you really want to experience the true taste and crunch of an apple, you're going to have to remove your biases about oranges or about apples, whatever, however you say it. The goal here isn't to side with apples. The goal here is to fall into balance so you can understand each perspective equally, right? But what if I don't like the apple? Okay, it's cool. You don't need to like apples, but other people do. So you can't say it's just fact by nature that oranges are better. It's not true. There's other perspectives that say otherwise. Knowing this can help you understand and communicate more effectively, even if you don't agree with the other perspective. That's why if you don't like the apple, you can't say they're wrong for liking the apple. There's so many issues in the world that could be fixed if people were to understand this concept. We as people fail to realize that our perspective is not the only perspective. It's not set in stone and it can be changed. That's why my example about apples and oranges was really black and white. What if you do like the other perspective? What if you do like the apple and you just are so used to oranges that you're not willing to like the apple? In other words, you're not willing to understand the other perspective because it's something that you are just so not used to. In order to be more open-minded, you have to let your guard down about certain things. You have to get rid of your mental blockages saying, I only listen to rap music. I'm too scared to travel. I'm not social. I'll never try crack. As I've pointed out in the past, your mind is very unique. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't need to be changed. But think about how much you're missing out on if you have a perspective like this. I only do this. I only do that. It'll limit how much you are able to experience in this lifetime. I told you before that self-talk is so important. Your internal dialogue gives you the ability to create the person that you desire to be. But our thoughts instead limit us. You want me to be honest? You say you want $1 million, but deep down, you know you ain't getting that mill. How do you get the mill? Change your perspective. How do you become a better person? Change your perspective. How do you become a smarter player? Change your perspective. Now, I keep saying perspective this and perspective that, but what I myself am forgetting is that the word perspective, it sucks. And so does pretty much every other word when trying to describe this. This is not easy to put into words, but I'm going to try. Your perspective is everything you are experiencing right now. It's your physical being, the breaths in your lungs, the thoughts in your head, your ideas, your consciousness, right? This is your perspective. And when I tell you to change your perspective, you're instantly going to start thinking of different perspectives. You're going to try to start looking for different perspectives. You won't know you have a different perspective until it's there. It is impossible for us humans to view our mind from the outside. Like, I can't fly outside my head and look down and view everything. And I can't see what's coming. Yeah, I wish. You can't view your perspective from the outside. However, you can view it from the inside. And here, you can grow to understand your current perspective. And this is very important. For once your perspective has changed, you'll be able to look back on that perspective that you grew to understand. Now, remember, I said life is all about balance. Your mindset and perspectives are all about balance. So it is not impossible to fall back into that old perspective and way of thinking. It is not impossible to stay too far into your new one. Once you change your perspective, you're gonna feel like, oh my god, I fucking did it. It's gonna feel good like that because change is uncomfortable. I just made a video about this. When you experience change, it's uncomfortable. It does not feel good. Not in all cases, but in most cases, change is uncomfortable. It does not feel nice. So a lot of people give up when they're changing, right? And they'll fall back in and they'll stay in their current way of thinking because they'd rather stay comfortable. And some people are like that, and I love those people. If you're changing and you are experiencing difficulty, just know you're doing something right. Just do not give up. Another staple of being open-minded is understanding the culture of others. Nowadays, what people don't understand is culture really just means that people are raised to believe and think and act a certain way. Now, this doesn't mean that everybody in the community is going to act exactly the same. But when people are brought up a certain way, they're going to think a certain way. And when we experience somebody with this different way and it doesn't mesh with our culture, we tend to argue and fight and get into conflicts. Say you built a house with 7 rooms and 1 person from each continent living in that house. You can imagine that these people are going to get into a lot of conflicts, right? They were not brought up the same way. They were not taught the same way. They didn't eat the same things. So this is normal. Can't blame these people for this. What if each of these 7 people practiced the philosophy that I'm teaching you right now? It'd be a little bit different, right? Like they'd understand that, hey, this person, they just grew up a different way. I can't really judge them, and I got to be able to understand this. If we get into another argument, maybe I can just walk away knowing because it's no big deal. We just were raised differently. If you mix different types of people at any capacity, chances are there will be conflicts and arguments. Say you go to a high school and there's a lot of fights at your high school. It's a strong possibility that the people are fighting because they are just different. When you mix different people, conflict arises. If we understand this, if we already know this, we can't make an excuse saying, I know we're different, so we should fight about it. Like, that don't make sense. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video was short, but I'm just trying to push out these videos because not only does it help other people, but it helps myself. I love straightening out my thoughts and being able to help others with them. What else I want to say is if you guys understand what I'm saying and it resonates with you, don't hesitate to drop a comment. I would also love to see comments because sometimes after I edit these videos, I'm tired, I'm on the go, and I can't really get a chance to watch it and understand everything that I'm saying after I edit it. So please give me a chance, comment, and I'll give you some love. Alright, that was weird. I hope you guys have a nice day. And remember, I love you and you matter. Have a great day.